Am I back? Unbelievable. Hi, Mary. I just clicked back live. I was like, yep. I just came back live. I just hit it again. The thing is, I don't get the copyright thing unless somebody has reported it, because that's another YouTube channel that I've been playing that from. That's been played. It's got plenty of views. Plenty of views. So I wonder if theirs has been taken down. Hi, Petty Dragon Fruit. Let me have a wee look. Let me have a look. I wonder why that happened. That is so strange, because it's still active on their channel. And I don't think it's not a big channel, but I mean, I can certainly include them in my title. Maybe. Maybe in my description. So the long and short of it is, Christine Burnett and her husband, Michael, are trying to age YouTube, not anyone. Unbelievable. Hi, Brooke. Michael and Christine Burnett are trying to age Natalia. So as it turned out, Christine Burnett had written a book called The Spark, and it was about her son. This all is crazy to me. It was about her son, who they were saying was like, he should have been in Mensa, he was a genius. He was a kid. But his academic qualifications were through the roof because he was homeschooled and he went to Barnet Academy. So he was getting A pluses for physics, maths at a really, really young age. High Miss Liability. Then he got an A plus in piano and they didn't own a piano. I know, gender. But return her to the previous couple, they had given her up for adoption too. But everybody knew the DePauls, who are both little people like Natalia, they wanted her. She would have fit perfectly. She was a perfect fit for that family. She was really, really close to their daughter. Why didn't they just let her go? But Christine became increasingly abusive. And then she has meetings with Michael. I'm just going to go looking for them, because the meetings with Michael are crazy. The series goes back and forth a lot. Your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. Okay. Michael Barnett interviews. He's an absolute moron here, man. I'm gonna share my screen. Signs of guilty behavior.
It's game time. I'm on stage. We were all abused!
Yes, Mary. It's a series. You'll find it on YouTube as well. This is what made me laugh. I'm getting a copyright strike, but there's a channel that's playing it illegally. Weird.
Sorry, I'm gonna get upset. Hang on. It's game time. It's game time.
Hi, Kat Shrulin. I'm sorry I never seen you. Hi. He is a nutcase.
EasyJet's big orange sale.
As a nutcase.
It's game time. I'm on stage. We were all abused.
This is him claiming they were all abused by Christine, his wife. And the one issue I have with that is he's an adult. So here he has a meeting with
What made you guys,
in season 2.
like, what made the doctors say that I was schizophrenic and...
Yeah, it's plain here. It's fine.
You told them you were hearing voices.
He's telling her what she said.
You know why?
I know now, but at the time I did not. At the time, you gotta understand, the only thing I know is I'm coming home and there are a lot of things being said that, really? You all saying the exact same thing? Okay.
He comes into this meeting saying to her, my monster is your monster and your monster is my monster, and saying that he was really abused by his ex-wife. But the difference is he was an adult. He could fight back. Oh, really, Chris Blair? But she's not an orphan, that's the thing. She does have parents in the Ukraine. But this guy, I can't deal with him.
And I don't really want to repeat some of the things that were said. I don't think there's any need for it, do you?
Are they, like...
Any things that you had said during the time, we don't... You know what she said, and I know what she said. We don't got to talk about that.
I want to hear what you mean.
Good for you.
Well,
So he's trying to say, like, put words into her mouth. Oh, you said this, and trying to put a little bit of guilt onto her. And Natalia's like, well, I want to hear it. So
you were telling therapists and Christine and I that you were hearing voices. Again, knowing what I know now, I might know where the source of that came from, but you gotta understand, all I know is you're telling me you're hearing voices, they're telling me you're hearing voices, the therapist is saying you're hearing voices, these documents from the stress center that the doctors have written out are saying the words you are hearing.
what I've realised about this guy, he very much becomes articulate when he's trying to prove his point. And I've seen this with him before. When he's trying to prove his point, it's ridiculous, unbelievable. Hold on, let me pull up my. He's wild, absolutely wild.
Hearing voices. What am I supposed to believe?
Whenever Christine would take me to a mental hospital, like stress center or something like that, she'd always tell me to tell them that you're hearing voices, that you want to hurt yourself, and that you want to hurt other people. And me being like 7 years old, I'm like, I don't know what this means, but it's something that my mom told me to say.
I have to believe that and go with that.
Christine's not my mom.
High five, up top. There you go.
He makes me sick. He really makes me sick because he was an accomplice in that situation. And she's saying, no, she's not my mum. And he's like, high five, like a little bitch. He's not in her shoes. He isn't. He will never be in the position that that child, that little kid, really makes me mad. I agree, Christopher, always. I agree. I know, Chris. I know, it's sad. Crazy, isn't it? Wild, wild, wild. But this guy really annoys me. Really, really annoys me. Very successfully gets under my skin. Because you can see he's acting as well. So, as it turns out, Christine has wrote a book called The Spark. And she's made a lot of money. At one point, she got a down payment, excuse me, of $600,000. So she made quite a bit of money from this book. So now they believe the reason she wanted Natalia was because she was going to be her next project. So she adopted a kid who was seriously disabled because it was going to be her little prodigy. Now, they're saying, but that didn't happen. Natalia had special needs. I don't know about anybody else. I find Natalia very bright. Very, very bright. What do they mean special needs? Do they mean dyslexia? Do they mean it's been a learning problem? Because I find her very, very bright. And if she was going to the Barnet Academy, where Christine was signing off all their qualifications, what was the problem? You know? I just don't understand that part. I just don't understand that part. So, but when she realised that this wasn't going to happen for her, this book that she wanted wasn't going to happen for her the way she thought it was going to happen, then that's when she decided she wanted to get rid of Natalia. And that's where that started. The other thing was they realised she was going to need a lot of surgeries. And surgeries means spending a lot of money, which they were not prepared to do. So that, again, that was part of the reason they wanted her to go elsewhere. Christine didn't want to be spending money on that. Sorry, I'm also playing about the background while I do this. I don't know if I like things sort of moving. Things are quite distracting, isn't it? But so apparently that was what they think, the theory. No, children are not disposable. There was bits in this series. Christine tried to convince that little child, the whole pubic hair thing. Christine tried to convince that child she had taken her period, and then tried to force her to use a tampon. And she was trying to force her. She never did it. She tried to get Natalia to do it, and she was making her do it. And of course, it then ended up with blood on the tampon. And Christine was like, "See, you've taken your period." Like, really brainwashing this child into saying that she was an adult. Horrible, horrible. And then she was saying to Michael, "Oh, she's taking her period, you know." And I think Natalia probably negated that, because that's what she told, that's what she thought. Because it's 6 or 7 years old. How would you know? You only know what you learn. It's just horrible, horrible. And when she went to stay in the first neighbourhood, one of those neighbours that was interviewed, she really irked me. "Oh, she wasn't a kid. No, she wasn't a kid." She was vile. And she was saying that Natalia was playing with one of the little local kids, and they were rolling about the grass together. And she's like, "Oh, she was inappropriate. Oh, have you seen the way?" She was a child. She was playing with another child. So they sort of tried to label her a paedophile because she was 22 to them. And it's just a miracle that nothing really bad happened to Natalia in that first house. But then, as her age was questioned, and the detective was looking into it, they took her out that house. No, I think she may have got kicked out. I think they said she got kicked out. So then they started looking for somewhere else for her, and the second house was even worse. The second house, there was a set of stairs, and then just outside the front door, there was like 5 or 6 stone stairs. Inside the front door, there was another 12. Now, Christine was dropping her off with no walker and no shoes. None of it. And I almost feel as if Christine wanted her to have an accident. Hi, Scottish Deborah. I feel as if Christine wanted her to have an accident. That's exactly how I feel. And there was actually a picture of Natalia at one point after that with a sore face. Her nose was bruised, she had black eyes. There was no explanation about how that happened. I don't even think Natalia knows why that happened. But did she fall down those stairs? And I'm always like, how does she eat? How does she eat? So even though, could you imagine an 8-year-old like being in a house on their own? How do they know when to go to bed? When it's appropriate to go to sleep? When it's appropriate to get up? Because we tell kids, go for a shower, brush your teeth. But was she doing all this just on her own? Because she survived. More importantly, she survived. And I think that's testimony to Natalia and who she is and her intelligence. She's free. So when they put her in the second house, the two of them emigrated to Canada. Both of them left the country. They left. Just left her. Because she wasn't their problem, and that's why she wanted to mark her as being older than 21. Financially, they were no longer responsible. And sorry, I do apologise. Yep, there is Babs. It's just wild. But all these episodes are on YouTube. So it's the curious case of Natalia Grace. She is such a strong child. But to leave her without the stuff she needed, I mean, she wouldn't have been able to get the walker up and down the stairs anyway. But to just leave her there, How did she get food? How did she survive? But she did. And I think at one point she contacted the DePauls. Now, I've not seen it further. Sweets probably knows more to find out how that happened. Because she did end up with, no, she ended up with the Mans first, didn't she? Maybe she went to church. I need to keep watching it. I was planning to watch it with you, but obviously copyright, I can't do that. Yes, that was the other thing. So they did determine that she was born in 2003. But not to forget, they also contacted the mother, who confirmed she was born in 2003. So when they dubbed her, she was actually 8 years old. What province is she in Canada? I can't remember, Susie. I would need to watch that up again. So her and him went to Canada, and before you knew it, that marriage started falling apart. And she started accusing him of things, and they were in the car together. And she was niggling, and he was saying, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you. And she filed a police report to say that he threatened. She moved to Canada, Jen Day. Is she back in the USA? Because she did move to Canada. I need to watch it, Christoph, and always. But yeah, they would have had to have adjusted it back to the right age. It's actually, so the Mans family, that was the preacher and his wife, those normal-sized couple. Those are the two that she lived with next, that she was calling mum and dad in that video. But I think that goes pear-shaped as well. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. She's been through absolute hell since she was born. She must, and she probably will always struggle to maintain relationships and trust people. So sad. Let me see. Let's see what I can find out at that age. Right, so we'll go to the DNA results. She absolutely should sue them. But it's almost like she just wants to go on with her life. She just wants to be part of a family. She just...
Results finally confirm the true age of little Natalia Grace, who's been at the center of a bizarre controversy that's riveted America for years.
Hi, Natalia. Hi.
In 2010, Natalia was adopted by a family from Indiana who was told that she was a 7-year-old Ukrainian orphan. But her adopted parents, Michael and Christine Barnett, claimed they discovered she was really an adult with dwarfism and that she was just posing as a child. Barnett told Inside Edition in 2019 that she was a violent...
This really, really annoys me.
...sociopath.
She's got a monthly cycle, and she's hiding it. She had spent every waking day attempting to ruin everybody else's life in the house. She's threatening to kill us. She's trying to kill us.
Their story made headlines.
So he retracts half of this later on and says that he was pushed into it.
When the Barnetts petitioned a court to legally change her age to 22, left her in an apartment and fled to Canada. They were charged with neglect of a dependent, but were fully
exonerated. fully exonerated.
Exonerated. This is Natalia today in a new documentary series, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Natalia Speaks, streaming on Discovery Plus and Max.
I want you to know how old I am.
In the docuseries, Natalia takes a DNA test to try to prove once and for all how old she is.
Want to take a look at the results?
Yes.
Natalia holds hands with her new adoptive father, and here are the bombshell results. A DNA test shows she is currently 22 years old, which means she was indeed a child of 9, not an adult, when she was adopted in 2000.
Heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. That poor kid. But her biological mum also backed that up. I know, Cosmic. I know. It's just wild. Absolutely wild. So I don't know what everybody else has been doing with the weekend. I was at the beach this morning with Pablo, just walking. You'll probably hear his name coming bouncing up. But I think he's tired, actually. And then when we come home, I made some lunch and breakfast, brunch. Oh, thank you, Sarah. And then I've cooked all day. But I've been recording because I'm going to start doing little shorts of how I cook things, what I use, how I do it, and start doing a wee bit of content. I know, Deborah, it's sickening, absolutely sickening. But it ends up their marriage does not last either. So when he threatens to K them, she contacts the police and said he threatened me and the children in the car. And so he came back to, oh, lovely PMR. He came back to America, and then when he was speaking to her on the phone, she was saying, don't come back here, don't come back here, like you will get arrested if you come into the country. And that's that's how their marriage ended. Oh, sorry. I've been so busy. And I was doing a video today, and I thought at one point, turmeric, you know how makes your nails orange, a turmeric thumb. I thought I'm going to post that, and that I know what will happen. I know what it's like. But however, I don't care. It just makes me. I find it funny. But honestly, it is, Susie. It's such an interesting story. It really, really is an interesting story. Oh, thank you, Susie. And I just can't believe. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Natalia's an angel, because one of the mans, like she's saying, and they said her new adoptive father, I don't know if they actually adopted her or just took her in. I think they just took her in. It starts coming out where I was watching that they're a cult and they've been brainwashing her and blah, blah, blah. Marsha, actually getting dark here today, maybe about 5 o'clock. But my bin gets collected tomorrow, so I sorted all my recycling, took that up. I take it up my little path for the bin collection as well, so I'm sorting my bins. Oh, did you, Deborah? So sad. So it shows you at the end, one of the Mansi's children is being interviewed, fostered. One of the Mansi's children's being interviewed, and they were like, and are you close to Natalia? And she had a good big sister, And then she says, oh, I was going to say something, but she might get angry. I don't know if I should say anything, and whoever's interviewing her, production or whatever, like, it's okay, you can just tell us, what is it, what is it? And she said, she hurt me when I was a baby. So that, you're like, oh, there's got to have been damage. Susie, I know, turmeric thumb. I use turmeric in everything because it's so good for inflammation. It's so good for your stomach, your bowel. It's so good. But it does damage. It stains everything. Oh, Sudie, absolutely. Sudie, I'll put a wee message. I'll put a post up for you as well. I know, Cosmic. I know. And that's the thing. So when that kid says she hurt me as a child, you're thinking, oh, right, okay. Because apparently she was accused of hurting the children in the Chiccone's home. I think she might have been accused of hurting the kids in the Burnett's home. So there might have been an element of truth that there might have been. But to say she was right, she actually said in one of the interviews, this whole standing in the room with her, she said, how could I hurt them? She went, I can't even grip a knife. If you look at her fingers, she can't grip a knife. So I believe her, absolutely believe that. She's like, look at the size of me. How could I hurt those two? So I believe her. But do I think she could have hurt one of their kids? Possibly. Possibly. But I do think there was a level of cruelty to her, absolutely, from the minute she came to the States. Absolutely. Cruelty, neglect, abuse, the way she was left, it just breaks my heart. So, is it damage? Absolutely. And that was a man that was in a mobility scooter, a little person who was saying that Christine was trying to pair him off with Natalia. This is when Natalia was 7 or 8. She was trying to hook her up with this man. Like, what is that? So it's just sad. And then Natalia has flashbacks to the orphanage itself. And there was definitely things going on there too. Like she's just had it tough from the minute she was born. She's really had it tough. But I don't think the Burnetts realised how difficult it would be with a little person with needing so many surgeries, because she did need a lot of surgeries. And I don't think... Hi, Carrie Taylor. Oh, that's nice, Carrie. Thank you. Oh, Sudie. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I believed her when she said she couldn't hold a knife to do any damage. I believe that. But that's what they said. But that's straight out of that film, Orphan. That's just out of that movie. Yep, Deborah, I totally agree. And because she had wrote this book about her boy being a genius. By the way, he's not with his mum at all. He's grown up now and he lives with his dad. Doesn't have a relationship with his mum, which speaks volumes. No, she had surgeries when she was with the Burnetts first. She did have a surgery with them. A couple of surgeries because she was talking about her recovery, and they weren't really very caring for her after the surgery. So like, how much damage could she do? But Christine, because she was supposed, she valued her public image, she didn't want to give her up. She didn't want that to become known. She didn't want people to find out that she'd adopted this child. She get credit for that. Then she didn't want to return her. That would have ruined her image and ruined her as an author. So she wanted to age her and get rid of her. So it was all about her own image. Oh, I'm telling you, Pick Me's daughter-in-law is doing fantastic, and that family believe it was the prayers of everybody in this community. They absolutely believe that. Oh, go for orange. Orange. Go for it. Practically orange. But I haven't even finished. I'm at the very end of series 2, and I want to go into series 3 because Sweets is saying it's wild. Christoph's saying it's wild. So I'm really, really wanting to watch that. I've got some little videos to put together that I want to post as well. See, white, I don't know. Maybe it's the nail polish I'm buying. I know. And maybe it's the nail polish I'm buying. White, I just think never looks good on my toes. That was a miracle with Pick Me. That absolutely was a miracle. That girl was really, really close. Close a few times. Horrible situation. Oh, you've seen it too, Jendy? No, I haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So what looks like, I certainly will, Mary. I certainly will. I'll post the channel and my community tab because it's like, I'll actually do it right now for you. So interesting. Mary, did you see season 1? Oh, Party Rock, I posted my wish list. I've literally got about 10 things on. I just can't do it. I'm like, I feel as if I'm begging. I'm going to share this channel's link. Copy link. You hear Pablo snoring? Oh, is it 9 things? There's measuring cups there. I was making something earlier, and even if I'm adding spices, I'm just like I'll judge it by my eye and just how I think I like things. I know, I just don't know. Like I feel embarrassed to put people out like that. You hear them snoring away beside me. We had fun today, actually. He loves it when I'm cooking. And see if I'm doing carrots, he is right beside me. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thank you very much. He's right beside me because he knows I always give him a little carrot. I don't mind that. I don't feed him food at all. Any of our food, the food that he gets, it's completely natural. It's made with natural products. There's nothing and I give them other stuff like supplements for his stomach, for his skin. I do give him other stuff. And so, but I always give him a carrot, and he just sits there so patiently till I'm finished doing my carrots. He loves carrots. The only thing I might give him, and I've given him recently, is the skin off my chicken after I've finished eating. Oh, lovely. Yes. I was actually thinking I'm a little bit orangey. So Cooch is going live in 30 minutes. She's going to, I think it's the villains that... I'm going to have to put some stuff together. I'll grab clips. What I'll do is I'll make clips for Natalia Grace and I'll play them. I'll just play them while we're live so that I'm not copyrighting anybody. That's my work. I was being lazy. Playing someone else's. I was being lazy. So, and I did give that channel that a follow. I've subscribed to that channel as well. So feel free to subscribe to that. My God, Pablo. Lemon water. I'm really on my health kick again. But I'm going to make some dairy-free desserts this week as well. Dairy and gluten-free desserts. And I need to get a hold of Jen because I'm going to do kale chips with her. Ooh, white and gold. That sounds nice. Oh, thank you, Lack. That's very kind of you. Are you sure I don't look like I need moisturiser? Lack, are you sure? Thank you, sweets. Thank you very much. Jules said I need moisturiser. Come from someone whose filter slipped. And we all saw that picture. Pasty, dry, dehydrated skin. Oh, thank you, Petty Dragon Fruit. And the reality is, Jules could not afford my skincare or my makeup. And that's the truth. So, just thought I'd mention that. Because Jules thinks I need moisturiser. Don't know what she's saying. And as for posting things on my community tab, I'm keeping it real. I think people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. If you have had domestic violence in your house, on a live, if you're screaming that your husband's beat you up, if your husband's screaming he's going to get knuckle dusters to beat you up, I don't really think you're in a position to be calling other people out about what goes on in their house while pretending to care about an animal. And if an animal has indeed been hurt in any way, then not acceptable, absolutely not. But when did it be okay for an unborn baby to possibly be put at risk? Because I've listened to Eric saying that he had that woman by the throat and was slamming her off the wall. And she's pregnant. Oh, thanks, Sudie. So I just think it's absolutely, exactly, Jendy several times. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that I will wait and reserve judgment. I will wait. I think there is two sides to a story. I do think that what's been said... Exactly, PMR. Exactly. Well, Jules said Geneva was the one that found the dog's information and contacted the breeder. Oh, thanks, Susie. Contacted the breeder. So one thing I will say, Siwa, open your eyes. Your friend is dirty, and is still doing a lot of shit. And did you not catch it when JY said, I just told Geneva to bring down that Reddit? Who was running the Reddit? Who created the Reddit? So they can say what they want. And Amber Cherrington as well. Another lowlife. Like, these women have got seriously something wrong with them. Exactly, sweets. Nobody knows the full story. Nobody. And what I'm going to say about Lida, and so one thing I've noticed, and I'm trying to put myself in this situation. Her English is not always the best, and I don't mean that to be rude. The way she words things isn't how I would word things. You know, like that's the way. And I think in a highly emotional state, I think my things could have been coming out in a way. No, Susie, I would never defend animal abuse. Never. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think, well, let's just wait and see what she says. But he's trying to retract that now. And also who goes to get a laptop to hit a dog? It doesn't make sense. Listen, you're interfering with my laptop. Who goes to get a laptop to hit a dog? It's crazy. Like, that does not make sense to me. Oh. I'm going to really let how she was found part. I know. And let's be honest, Jules is the one that outed Geneva contacting the breeder. And when Jules said it, I knew exactly where she got her information from. I knew exactly, because Jenny's done it and went running and looking for a pat in the back. But she's told the one person that you can't trust with anything. And he's repeated that. Yes. So that was my point, Instacart Crack Boys. That was absolutely my point. Your cat is obese. It was obese. And there's 2 adults in a small cottage smoking all the time. Is that not abuse? Maybe not abuse, maybe a bit of neglect. But inadvertently, you're abusing your animals. The same as Jules. Jules can say what she wants. Her, when she was smoking in front of those cats that hate her. Your cats don't like you for a reason. Q-tips. Oh my God, that was disgusting. I know you're cooch. Thank you. See, that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. But it just really irks me that there's somebody sitting on a live saying, we need to contact this breeder. We need, well, see if she's bought the dog. It's got nothing to do with the breeder. Absolutely nothing. These are just looking to attack her. It's personal. It's a personal vendetta. And we know why. Because she had an arrow on him. That's why. And the case for a job, was that not dropped as well? So it very much is a personal situation. But I absolutely don't think a pregnant woman being slammed off a wall is acceptable in the least. Absolutely don't. When did it be okay to put unborn babies at risk. When? When? But that unborn baby doesn't have a choice. That's my point as well. Like, that unborn baby does not have a choice. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, yeah. I'm not saying, but you're talking about a human baby. So is that okay? It just amazes me that nobody's focusing on that. I'm quite mind blown at this. Like, nobody's focusing on this fetus. Like, that's violent. That's not restraining somebody. I know, PMR. Listen to him. Unbelievable. I think I've stayed past Pablo's bedtime. But again, so the posting on my story, on my community tab, was because I couldn't believe the hypocrisy. I could not believe the hypocrisy. I couldn't believe the cheek of it. Yep. Yeah, Susie, but that's what I'm saying. I am going to say it again. The way Leda words things isn't how you would word things and how I would word things. Even the way she types things is not how I would type or how you would type. And I can only imagine in that highly emotional environment. Oh my God, Emily, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I never knew that. Emily, Eric did give a statement, and Eric said he grabbed her by the throat and was slamming her off the wall. He said this. He said this. That's why I'm mentioning that, because he actually said that. Oh dear. Oh dear. I know, Petty Dragon Fruit, I know. Yeah, so, and that was the other thing. So threatening to do something and actually doing it is two different things. I mean, people's lives have been threatened in this platform. But then after it is, and because I say mean things, you don't just say mean things. You say horrendous, horrific, vile, abusive things. Oh, hi, Silprint. And while you were on that live saying, I'm just trying to be a good guy, I'm trying to defend a dog, I was a fat see you next Tuesday. Okay. I was a fat whore. All of these things. While Cody was shouting stuff about my sexuality, like abuse. That was abuse right there. But that's okay. And then attacking that poor Tony, the dentist, put out all his family's information, his father's information, and I would sue him. You don't have any fucking money. You get nothing. You'll sue nobody. Couldn't afford to sue anybody. Rainbow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, there is multiple. Well, that's what they were trying to do. Exactly. I'm not ashamed of myself at all, but that's what they were trying to do. Not the first time. I couldn't care less. Jealousy is a disease and it's spewing out of some people right now. Because I'm making a success in my own life on my own. And people don't like that. Well, some people don't like that. But yeah, that's right. So even in the report, apparently she never hurt the dog. She threatened the dog. I've not read the report because see where the report came from. I wouldn't give it a view. I know, Rainbow, that's what I'm saying, the hypocrisy of that situation. I am very aware that this is a pregnant woman. And to be honest with you, PMR, I don't think it'd be a man. I'm done with men. I think I am done with men. Just be happy. I will be happy. But because people don't like her, they completely skipped over Eric's statement. And Eric went on video and said, see the laptop being smashed off the floor. She didn't smash that laptop off the floor. Eric said he did. He did. Eric also said he grabbed her by the throat and was slamming. He didn't say slam, he said slamming her off the wall. What I'm going to say is, I don't think anybody's innocent, in my opinion. But I think we all need to reserve judgment until the facts are put out there. I think she's been highly charged, highly emotional, and I don't think she's going to come across as good as what he will. Forget, he's a Marine. Mr. Cool, calm and collected. Oh, absolutely, Maria. I totally agree with you. But again, she's a pregnant woman. Yep, I agree with that as well. And it just upsets me to hear anything. Thank you, Lack. And I think, if anything, we should reserve judgment until we have facts. Yeah, and I said that. It was the way they were speaking, how disgusting it became on Reddit. I said it's homophobic. I can't be homophobic. I'm gay. Yes, you can. The same as you can have a black husband and be racist. The two things can work together. Absolutely can. But Susie, I witnessed that abuse. And I'm not just saying by him, I'm saying to him. There's been abuse on lives. And I've seen that. So what I was saying was people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But then, while he's shouting and calling her for everything the other night, he doesn't know the whole story, only her. He then starts to say, oh, you won't find a police report about me. Well, just give me just 1 minute, please, and I'll post it for you, because there is. Then it was a doctored police report, and then they have never thought it was a lie. And then it was, they were carrying on. And then it was, they had a tussle. So basically, he was admitting it. The story kept changing. My point was, People in glass houses, stop throwing stones. Yeah. But he's been bloodied on alive. Susie, I've not seen the police report because I wouldn't entertain where it was shown. I wouldn't even give that a view. I wouldn't give that a view or rewatch it elsewhere. I wouldn't do that. So I don't even know what the police report said, and that's the God's honest truth. I don't know. I know bits that I've heard and seen online. I don't know if I believe all police reports, Susie, to be quite honest. There's people, police have been known to lie. But do you know what? I bet there's a foyer, and I bet somebody's already got it. Yeah. What I'm saying is that the police might not always get it right either, because there was a situation, and I've got to say this, to be honest with you. Yeah, right, okay, it was posted. There was a situation between Jen and Siwa. What the police wrote in the report, they screwed up with what they wrote in that report. Jen was going ballistic. Look, she said this to the police, she said, and Siwa kept saying, no, I didn't. No, and I actually believed her because we knew what happened. I think the police screwed up the report, and that's the God's honest truth. That's my opinion. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Remember when the police wrote that GB said that Siwa's ex was at the door, putting her door in, and Siwa was saying that's not what I said on the call, that's not what I said. I think the two of them were telling the truth. I think the two of them were telling the truth. I don't think the police are lying. I don't think they're lying. But they screw up, but like Maria said, the police screw up reports. And I think when the police have been there, she's highly emotional, as I said. Lita's English is not like yours and mine. But he'll come across as very competent, very calm. He's a Marine. Yeah. They do lie and they protect themselves. I just want people to realise, like, that I kept hearing about this dog who wasn't hurt. The dog was threatened. But a pregnant woman was hurt. And nobody cared about that. I don't mean nobody cared about it. Obviously, people do care about it. But I didn't hear anybody mention that on his lives. Cat. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. As I said, I saw it with GB and Siwa. The police screwed up on what Siwa had said on her report. GB was going ballistic. Blah, blah, you lied. Because it seemed like a lie. It seemed like a lie. No, I think she meant in general, the police. Oh, thanks. Cooch. So we all need to head to Coochie's. Cooch is going live next. And this, yeah, the actual, so that's why I think it's more clear now, because these videos were shown. Exactly, Rainbow. Exactly. But the thing is, was the dog hurt? And I'm asking, was the dog hurt? Because I've not read anything. I see with things like that, and there's a lot of speculation going on, and I know people have got their own agenda because they like or dislike somebody. I sort of switch off. I will switch off to that. Even if it's JY, I'll switch off. There we go. So it was a threat. And do you know, if anything, I think she's threatened the dog to piss him off. I think they two have been at it. But I'm going to tell you something that was a huge red flag to me right away. When Eric came on to give his statement that I saw, and Eric said, I had been drinking, but I didn't even have a buzz. See, if you need to say that, there's a reason you're saying that. Otherwise, whether you were drinking or not is irrelevant. But that stood out to me. Maybe personal experiences, that stood out to me. So, oh, thank you, Petty. Oh, I love it. No, they shouldn't be. But listen, I want to thank everybody for coming in. As I said, Cooch is going live, so I appreciate you all being here. And as I said, I'll get more clips myself for Natalia, and we'll go over it again.